So the next stitch that we'll show you is the 2-stitch right cable. And essentially this stitch occurs on row 3 and row 7 of the crisscross lace. You'll have 2 purl stitches, so you can see the 2 purl stitches that I just worked here on my right hand needle. And then you're going to work the 2-stitch right cable into your next 2 stitches, and the purl 2-stitch right cable repeats itself to the last 4 stitches of that row. So essentially what you're going to do is take your cable needle. This is the cable needle that I use, and I like it because it has a nice groove here, but there's straight needles, there's a hook cable needle, so you just have to figure out what works best for you, and there's even a technique where you just simply drop the stitch and pick it back up. So basically you're going to, I like to move my working yarn forward and out of the way, and you're going to slide the stitch purlwise, meaning from tip to tip, onto that cable needle, hold it up back. Then you're going to knit the next stitch, and then you're going to knit from your cable needle. And that is what forms that crisscross lace. So if you look at this intersection here on several rows below, that's actually what that cable will look like as we continue to work in the pattern. Okay? So we'll do it one more time. So we're going to purl 2 stitches, we're going to get our working yarn out of the way, slide the next stitch from tip of the needle, fold it up back, knit one from our needle, and then we're going to knit one from our cable needle. To perform the slip knit pass, what we'll do is slip the stitch knitwise, and that means we're going to take it from the front leg and slip it onto our right hand needle. We're going to knit our next stitch, and then we are going to pass the slip stitch over that stitch. So essentially we're going to grab it by the front of that leg and pass it right over that stitch. To perform the knit 2 stitches together, what you're going to do is go into the fronts of both of the stitches, and if it's a little bit tight, what you can do is just first loosen it and use this finger here just to hold them nicely on your needle. So you go into the fronts of both stitches and knit them together and slide right off of your needle. To perform 2 yarn overs, essentially what you're doing is wrapping the yarn over twice. And notice where this pattern appears, just looking at the anatomy. The crisscross lace basically staggers so that your next hole will appear in between the 2 holes below it. So you see how the first one starts here, and then we have 2 yarn overs here. Well, the next one will occur right above that crisscross below. So just pay attention. That's how you'll know if you're on pattern. So we'll yarn over once, and we'll yarn over twice. And then you'll perform your next stitch, which is the slip, knit, pass, and then we're going to knit 2 together, and then we're going to perform the yarn over, yarn over. And that pattern repeats itself in that manner until you reach the last 4 stitches. So when you're working the wrong side row and you come across the double yarn overs from the prior right side row, whenever you see that within the crisscross lace pattern, what you're going to do is knit one and knit one through the back loop. And what that does is stabilize the stitch, because you essentially have 2 loose yarn overs before on the row prior. So you'll knit that first stitch, and then you will knit one through the back loop. So you can turn your work over a little, go through the back loop, wrap your yarn around, and then bring it through. So let me show you again. The 4-stitch repeat is that you purl 2 and knit 1 through the back loop. So I just purled 2 stitches, and there's another double yarn over. So I'm going to knit 1, and then I'm going to go through the back loop of that stitch, bring my yarn around, and knit 1 through the back loop.